Brian Preston, the money guy.
Let's talk about why Roth IRAs were created or Roth retirement products were created.
Sure.
A lot of people hear Roth and it's now just become part of our vernacular of tax-free savings.
Right.
And you're like, okay, well, maybe if I look up in the dictionary Roth, it will just be tax-free savings. No, Roth is actually a name. It's Senator William Roth from Delaware. And unfortunately, Senator Roth, he passed away in 2003. So he got to see success of Roth accounts, but I don't know if he got to see the full picture of what this thing has turned into. And if I always like to know, some of my favorite shows are how things are created or why do they exist in the way. So what was in the mindset of Senator Roth when he said we need to do something to add to what's traditional IRAs or add to what's in traditional employer retirement savings plans? And here's the clue of what was going on. Back when this all went down in 95, 96, and then the legislation finally passed in 97. But, what Senator Roth was bothered by is that household savings rates in America, I hate to say this, it's dismal now. It was dismal back then. So that part of the vision has not completely improved. And this gives you some perspective. In France, I found this as of the 2013 edition. That's the most recent I could find. But France, as a household, saves about 15.4%.
And our rule of thumb is you should be trying to save, 15 to 25% of your gross income. So 15% saves the household's pretty solid. We
want you to be a hyper saver. Australia is 11.1%.
Okay.
Germany is 9.9%. So you're like, okay, 9, 15, this lines up with the whole wealthy barber and 10% at least. No, America, 3%. It's almost like we have an employer match out there and we're just trying to get the bare minimum here in America. So 3%. So we out of the 28 developed countries, we came in number 16th out of 28. So we're not exactly setting any records for being great accumulators of resources. Now we're great at building wealth and resources, but it's not because we're saving, unfortunately, if you look at our behavior. So that's actually, and here's a quote that came from the Taxpayer Relief Act of 1997, when he was interviewed, Senator Roth said, quote, "It is in the national interest both for the economy and the family that we have significant savings." So he was trying to figure out, how do we boost this? What can we do to tweak the traditional savings vehicles, which was the traditional IRA? And here's the things he wanted to add to it. He wanted a flexible version that had allowed tax-free growth of after-tax dollars.
Right.
That's key one. Number two, he wanted it not to be subject to these required minimum distributions. When you reach 70 and a half, you're going to notice that you hear a knock on the door. You're like, who's that at the door? It's the tax man. He wants his cut. He's letting you have this opportunity of saving for retirement where he's not taxing you on the interest, your dividends, your capital appreciation. But at 70 and a half, he knocks on the door and he goes, "Hey, it's time for you to start giving me my cut. We're going to go talk to the Grim Reaper over here, figure out how many years until you die. We've got that calculation figured out. So now we're going to divide that by that number. And here's what you got to give us." So Senator Roth didn't want to get away from the required minimum distributions. He also said, but I want some additional flexibility. I want people to be able to kind of pull $10,000 out for the first time home purchase. I want you to be able to pull money out penalty free if you need to go get a better education for yourself. And then, I think that is all noble, and it was the right framework. I mean, he really had it right that he set it up. And here's kind of proof of that his vision is working. It might not help us on the savings percentage, but listen to these asset numbers. In 2000, there was $77.6 billion in Roth accounts.
Okay.
Fast forward to the end of 2016, there's $660 billion in Roth accounts. So these things have definitely, they've caught on big time. So it's really great to see this awesome vision, this legacy build out. And so we owe a big thank you to Senator William Roth. And I just want you to know that because I think it's important to know where things come from so you just have a little more perspective.